Hello, gentlemen and beautiful ladies. Alright, y'all, today I'm going to make my version of sweet corn soup. If you go to the Chinese restaurant, they have a thing called sweet corn soup. I do like it a lot, but I don't know the recipe. I'm too lazy to go on Google and look it up. And this version works just as well, but it's got a little more meat in it and a little more flavor than what you get at the restaurant. Go ahead and make some rice. Okay, first thing, get you some cornstarch and mix it with water, because you're going to need that to thicken the soup. You're going to need some cream style corn. We're not going to use all of that. We're only going to use about maybe a quarter of it. That's going to add the sweetness and of course the corn. You're going to need some chicken bouillon for the stock, some bok choy. You're going to need some ginger. This is ginger root. Now, I like ginger in my stuff. They don't really put it in at the restaurant, but it gives it this zing that most people don't know what it is, and it makes it taste really good. Going to need some green onions, of course. And I had some of these peas right here. I'm going to throw those in there for color. And you can use pretty much whatever you want. And I am going to use my fajita seasoning. It has everything in it to kick it up and bring out all the flavors. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's fajita seasoning. You don't have to use seasoning only on fajitas. Now, I wish there was an easy way to open these things, but I found I just cut them in half. And then I just kind of squish them and they all fall out, sort of. Next time I'm going to try to find the ones without the wrapper on it, because it's kind of a pain. And then you got to fish the wrapper out of the pot and everything else. One more. And you can add as many of these as you want, depending on how much salt you want in there. Now I went ahead and put some water in there to get those things to dissolve. And this is my ginger root. I'm going to go ahead and get one of these knobs off. I'm going to take off the outer skin. You can leave it on, it doesn't hurt anything, but it does change the flavor a little bit. Gives it more kick, actually. I like to slice these real thin, like in little strands, however you want to do it. Some people do not like ginger root. My wife is one of them, she hates it. But I love this stuff. I don't know why, it just tastes really good. See, like that? Now we're going to put that in the pot, so when we boil it, it gets all the flavors out of it and it disperses through the water. Let's get that on the stove. Here comes the easy part. Chop those up a little bit and then do not remove a finger. This here is bok choy. It's real good stuff. I suggest buying a lot of it. It's real cheap too. It's like $1 a pound. Gives you a lot of crunch, something to gnaw on when you throw it in the soup. That's pretty much it, except for one ingredient. Here's that last ingredient, chicken. Now this is leftover chicken I have, which works just fine. But if you got, raw chicken, go ahead and throw that in there. Just cut it real thin. I put skin and everything in there because it adds the fat. Got to be on that cardio diet. And also all the seasonings off that chicken are going to go into the soup also. Like I said, it's not like the restaurant. It's got just a bit more. Alright, I'm going to go chew my chicken bone. Now the deal is, y'all, if you really want to go kind of crazy, add a couple of these water chestnuts or throw a couple of bean sprouts in there. You can use whatever you like. That's the whole deal, is basically chicken soup with the ginger kick. But I'm not opening these up because I'm not making that big a pot. Alright, y'all, I'm going to move this rodeo over to the stove top. You want to bring this water up to a boil so that all that bouillon dissolves. If you don't have any bouillon, throw some chicken fat in there, because that's where the flavor is. As that's coming up to a boil, I'm going to go ahead and just throw my chicken in. It'll get some of the fat that's left over in it out into the water. It'll mix with that ginger. The vegetables I don't want soggy, so they're just going to go in right at the end. Now that's starting to boil right there. Now when that starts boiling, all the steam coming off of here, that smells really good. This is when people in the house are going to start taking interest, come over and start pawing around all your food. That's when you whip out the wooden spoon and give them a good smack. Yeah, I'm serious. You got to keep them away. Alright, here's the creamed sweet corn. How's that for a measurement? I'm going to say it's about a third of a can or half a can. Bring it back to a boil. Okay, this just came back to a boil, so I'm going to go ahead and add my cornstarch. Now hopefully that's going to thicken it up. I never measure anything, but I got a feeling that's going to thicken it up. Now you don't want it like gravy, big old thick, chicken fried steak gravy. You just need it a little bit thicker than just water. Now if you're looking at that, you can see how it's got that creamy looking texture to it? That's what you're looking for. Whoa, 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 don't be doing that to me. Got to be on guard at all times, because once it thickens up, it tries to get out of the pot. I'm going to give this a little taste. That's pretty good, but it needs something. What's it need? Right there. That's going to add everything I need, which is a little pepper, some other awesome stuff. There we go. It's got a nice kick to it now. Now this is pretty simple. At this point, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add the bok choy, the onion, and the peas. Give that a mix around. I'm going to turn up the heat again. Now I just tasted this again, and adding all the vegetables kind of drew out some of that kick. So what it needs is salt. So you can, but salt is, some people like it salty, others don't. I love salt. It just brings out the flavors. So that's up to you how much you're going to add. You can add soy sauce at the table. Or I'm going to add some of this fish sauce. This stuff here doesn't change the flavor, but it does contain a lot of salt. I'm just looking at this thing. This is the belly cam right there. Been years of work on that, baby. That's it. Perfect. Perfecto. This took all about 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Just let it sit there. Main problem now is, what do I do with half a can of cream style corn? Because you put that in the refrigerator, and about 8 months from now, it's still going to be sitting there. So I'm going to go ahead and heat it up and eat it just to get rid of it. Now the deal is, with that fish sauce, it smells like hell. Okay, it's fermented fish. It's real salty, and it's just fermented fish. But when you put it in the soup, it just gives it a twang that you won't be able to identify. A lot of people make some type of dipping sauce out of it and everything else. I'm not all about that. But I do add it to my soups a lot of times, because it just helps it out, kicks it up, gives it, like I said, this little twang in there, and nobody knows what it is, but it does taste good. Now if you look at this, you know, when you go to the Chinese buffet, they always got those big vats of soup sitting there. See the resemblance? There's not much to this. You could probably feed an army with it, and I guarantee when you throw it out there, everybody's just going to eat the hell out of it. Now y'all, here's the skinny. There we go. See a nice little ball of rice? I used an ice cream scoop. That's just for presentation. You don't need any rice. You just eat this soup straight out of the pot. But that being said, I wanted a little something something, so I'm putting it around rice. Plus it looks better for the video, I guess. You know, these high quality videos I make. I guess you could call this fancy corn soup, whatever. Oh man, my rice just disintegrated. Well, it is what it is. Now one last thing, I'm going to back out here. Some Kiko Man. I don't know what it is. It's just not right till you give it a shot. Got to cool it down, otherwise it'll burn all my taste buds off. That might be a good thing with my cooking. I'm serious. If you go to any Chinese restaurant and this was sitting in that big bowl, you would throw it in there and then you'd go back for another bowl. It's really tasty. That ginger's got the kick. It's there. It's just perfect. And that little shot of soy sauce, that did it. That brought it right to the point. So, that's my version of sweet corn soup. It's pretty darn tasty. I do like the rice in it. Normally you don't have the rice in it, but that's going to help me fill me up a little bit. Give it a shot. It's real easy. It takes longer to get all the junk together and the video camera out than it does to cook it. Maybe 5 minutes, and then you get all the damn leftovers out of your refrigerator too. Oh, that's good. Alright guys, do me a favor, check out thehogzone.com. We're on Facebook, the Hog Zone Killing Crew. That's more of a hunting thing, so if you ain't into hunting, I wouldn't be going over there. A lot of good pictures though. Anyway, appreciate you watching.